Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Juliana and I am a makeup lover. As you can see, obviously I've now turned into a chemist as well. So today I'm going to be repressing my Tammy Tanuka pigments. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it to this. I bought some pigments from Tammy Tanuka and they are powdered pigments. This is the first time I'll be buying a pigment like this, so I'm going to be pressing them today. So both mattes and shimmers. Okay, over the last 1 or 2 weeks I've been practicing pressing 1 or 2 shadows, and one of the shadows I've pressed is this Colourpop pigment, Kathleen Light pigment, and this is what the pan looks like. So this is the outcome, and obviously it's still shiny, it's still in the pot. It's been about a week since I pressed it, so, and it's still alive, so that is a good one. I also tried to press this free pigment I was given by Pastel Roses. This is actually one of my first trials, and I think I make this one too thick, so it's actually chunky, but it's beautiful. So I'm not going to repress it. That's why I've left it. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's like a glittery, shifty shadow. It's absolutely beautiful. So those have been my practice, as well as repressing 2 of Palmagrat's eyeshadows. So I think I've got it in the bag now. So we're gonna give this a go. Alright, to press this pigment I'm gonna need quite a few things, which is everything on the table. I'm not sure what you can see from the camera because I can't see what is filming, but I'll try and bring it up. So these are my spatulas, I believe these are called. I never can remember the names. I've got like different shapes and sizes, as you can see, so it's like different ends to do different things really. Here. Okay, and I've also got like a stamp to press down the shadow. So this, once you press it into the pan, just show you, you put a paper in between and then you place this on to press it hard. So you need that. Empty pans, so these are 26 mm pans. I got them off Amazon. And I also got rubbing alcohol 70%, as well as a binder. So this is Isopropyl Myristate, which again I will put all of this in the description section. And I also got an empty, the ordinary bottle, and I poured the binder into it because you only need 1 drop. Basically, the less of the binder, the better. If the binder is too much, your shadow is going to be watery and it's never going to solidify. So if you need more liquid, that's where the alcohol comes in, because alcohol will evaporate. So even if you put more alcohol in your pans, they will still evaporate and they will not be watery because they will dry out. But if you put too much of the binder, it won't dry out. It's going to be wet, which I learned from one of my experiments. Okay, so if you've seen my Tammy Tanuka video, then you know I have 8 shimmers and 11 mattes, and I'm going to press both as an example for you in this video. I might not be able to show pressing everything, and I'm sure you won't want to see through watching me press 18 shadows, so I'm going to show 2 of each maybe. I also have these paper cuts. I've cut them into little bits and pieces, and this is where I'm going to pour each shade while I'm mixing them into the pan, and then my tissue to press and clean my hands, whatever I need to do with that. I'm just hoping you can see all of this and it's all in the frame. Alright, so let's start with the matte. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, for the matte, I don't need any liquid. I'm literally just going to pour into the paper, and I'm going to fold the paper and pour my shadow gently into the pan. I hope you can see this. Let me just try and put it in the middle just in case. So fold the paper so that the shadow doesn't pour away. So now shaking the last of the shade into the pan. So I'm going to spread it around into the pan. Maybe use one of the spatula to kind of spread it out. Put that over here and I'm going to press. Alright, that's the first pressing. Now I am pouring the rest of the powder pigment onto the paper. Really dropping the pan to kind of level it up. Okay, now that it's all leveled up, I'm putting the tissue back over the pan and pressing. Right, and that is the finished product. So this is like 1 ml, so the pan is like very little, so they are more like a sample size, so it's not going to fill up the pan. It's literally sample size. Well, that's it. So that's what shade is this? Provocateur. That's Provocateur pressed. So I'm going to put that aside. It's time for the shimmer, and what I'll do is first of all pour my apple in the cover and place it on my side, so the apple is right there. And I'm going to put a tiny little bit of the binder in the pan because this is a small size pigment, so I want to start very small. And I'm going to drop all of that out and take some of the apple and mix it in the pan. Okay, so for now, put that aside, and I'm going to mix the two together. Okay, now which of this am I going to press first? Let me go with this. Okay, so we have Invasion. So again, I'm going to pour it onto this paper so that it's easy for me to kind of pour into the pan. I'm going to gently pour it into the pan and mix it. So this looks like a very chunky shadow, so it's going to need more liquid. I don't know if you can see, it's really chunky. So I'm going to pour 1 more drop of the binder and more alcohol in it. So make sure you don't mix the two together. So I've dropped the alcohol, and I'm going to put my paper down and mix what I have in the pan. I don't know if you can see it. It's now getting molten. So try and mix what I have first before I pour more in. Okay. I'm going to put that right there on the cover and try and pour in the rest. And go back into the spatula I was using before to mix, and mix again with the liquid. So the liquid is soaked up, the shadow is soaked up the liquid again, so I'm going to pour alcohol, no binder or alcohol, because literally alcohol can dry. So make sure you mix it, get all the kinks and all the lumps out. Okay, I'm going to pour in the rest of the shade now. So this is a slow process, so you've got to enjoy this. If you don't enjoy it, there's no point trying it. If you don't enjoy it, just stick to eyeshadows that already come in a pan and no powder pigment. Okay, so that's everything emptied out. And now I'm going to mix some more. This is a very thirsty shadow. The more I pour in, the more it kind of solidifies. But yeah, it's going to need more alcohol. Okay, that's the shadow. I'm just going to drop it now to make sure it's all leveled. I'm going to do it on the table. I'm going to put that to the side. So this is what that shadow looks like. So it's got like a black base. Can't wait for it to all dry up. So that is Invasion. Okay, I'm moving on to Black Lioness, and this is what that looks like. So this is got like a different specs in it. Again, I've swatched all these shadows, so you can go ahead and have a look at the video. So going in with my binder, one drop, and then apple, mixing the two together. I'm going to pour some of the shades in the paper. With the help of the spatula, I'm going to drop this down into the pan. Oh, I love the way this one is melting into the liquid. Setting down my spatula and using another one to mix. So I'm just going to gradually break it down into the liquid. Again, it's going to need more liquid, but this one doesn't need as much liquid as the first one. Possibly because I put more alcohol in this one first time around. So this one, so always do it gradually. As you can see, it's melting into the liquid now. So I don't really need to put in any more at the moment. Okay. Oh, can you see it's swimming? It's like shimmering swimming. That is beautiful. Oh my. It's like the colors are having a party in the liquid. Oh, that is beautiful. Wow. Gosh. Alright, now I'm going to pour the rest of the shade into the pan. Okay, dropping a tiny smidge of alcohol. The last thing you want is for it to be too thick. If it's too thick, it's going to crack. And you don't want it to be too liquidy as well because it will never solidify. Especially if you've got too much binder in it. Okay, I think I'm satisfied with the liquid level, so I'm just going to drop it now. Okay, setting it aside. That's what the shadow looks like. So look, they're beautiful. Look at that. Oh, all sort of colors having a party within it. Oh, beautiful. Okay, I'm left with 2 mats to press. So gently pouring the powder into the pan. I'm going to gently bounce the pan on the table. Bouncing it on the table gives it a leveled look. So the next thing is to just press the presser into the pan. The textures of the shadows can be different. Sometimes some of them need you to press and sometimes some of them need a lot of pressing. My advice is to start with a gentle press, and this is what you get. So it seals in the shadow. You don't need any liquid, you don't need any alcohol. It's just literally pressing the shadows in. And I'm just gonna gently roll this in to seal in all the sides. That's the shadow pressed. Alright, now it's time to press the excess liquid from the pan. I've already done this one. So taking the next one and gently laying a tissue over it. Gently press down to absorb all the excess alcohol if there's still any left. So a little bit of wetness, but not too much. Gonna try again. Right, and that's that. That's that shadow ready. And then on to the last shade. Ooh, nearly dropped that. At least it proves I pressed it in properly. Oh my. Look at that. So that's yellow with flecks of brown, green, and all sort of shades in it. Look at my fingers. Just going to quickly swatch two mattes. Just hot stuff. Beautiful. And then finally I'm going to swatch this plum-like shade. This one feels so smooth. You see? That's the blackened plum shade. Actually, let me swatch this blue as well, because this is the lightest of them all. Again, this is so smooth. Okay, that's all my Tammy Tanuka pigments, both matte and shimmers pressed in empty magnetic pans, which I'm going to fill into a Z palette. I'm not going to mix them with my big palette because I don't want them to break. But those are how the shadows I bought from Tammy Tanuka, all pressed down. That gives me confidence because there was no way I was going to use powder pigments as eyeshadows. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed this process of pressing my eyeshadows. I will link everything I used, every equipment I used. I'll put them into the description section. If it's got any links on Amazon, I will try and put them in there. They are not affiliated, as you know. I'm going to try and do a look with the pressed shadows, so subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my videos. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I'll see you guys.